Here's a funny thing about humans. We spend our whole childhood being told not to talk to strangers, especially if they're offering sweets or standing suspiciously near vans. But then we grow up and happily live our entire lives by rules created by people we've never even met. In fact, people who died centuries ago, humans, essentially, are brilliant at doing what long-dead strangers tell them, even though these strangers can't possibly hand out any sweets at all. You see, after humans invented agriculture, cities and paperwork, they started believing in things nobody could actually touch or see, things like gods, laws, and money. But that wasn't enough. Humans then created something even stranger: traditions. Traditions are basically dead people's dreams that living people still agree to follow, usually without even questioning why. For example, the tradition of getting married while wearing white dresses and suits. Nothing practical about that. Have you ever tried eating a large slice of chocolate cake wearing all white? Absolute nightmare. These traditions, dead people's dreams, include everything from religious rituals to bizarrely specific rules like never eating pork on Fridays or always wearing special hats on particular days. Now, hats might seem harmless, but imagine explaining this to aliens visiting Earth. Yes, this is planet Earth, home to highly intelligent beings who become very angry if someone doesn't wear the correct hat on the correct day. The aliens would probably leave immediately, assuming humanity is too absurd to invade. Ancient Egyptians were experts at this sort of thing. They built huge pyramids, temples and monuments dedicated entirely to making sure that everyone remembered their dead pharaohs, essentially stone-built advertisements saying, "Don't forget Ramses. He was really, really important." But why were these long-gone kings so important? Mainly because everyone agreed they were. Ramses himself was probably no smarter or nicer than the average bloke who herded goats. Yet people spent lifetimes building monuments just because someone wearing an impressive hat said they had to. Humans became obsessed with leaving their mark, building things to be remembered. It was the ancient equivalent of trying to make a viral TikTok video. Everyone wanted fame, even if it meant making millions of people miserable in the process. Consider the Great Wall of China, magnificent, impressive, visible from space, but hardly a delight to actually build. Imagine being forced to carry rocks up a mountain day after day while someone cheerfully reminds you, "Come on, it'll look amazing on postcards in 2,000 years. Meanwhile, religions took the dreams of dead people to a whole new level. Religions weren't just about remembering ancestors. They claimed to speak directly for invisible gods, essentially imaginary friends who always agreed with whoever was in charge. Convenient, that. Priests and kings declared, "You have to obey me because my invisible friend said so." If an ordinary person made this claim, they'd rightly be carted off for a quiet chat in a padded room. But add a funny hat and a big temple. Suddenly everyone nods and says, "Well, he seems to know what he's talking about." Religions didn't just dictate behavior, they created rules that determined how people lived and died. What you could eat, who you could marry, what hat you wore, even how you spent your Sundays. And the most amazing thing? These rules survived long after the original priests and prophets were nothing but skeletons. To this day, millions follow rules set by people who, if they were alive today, wouldn't know how to use a toaster. Why do humans do this? Because we're very good at believing stories. Stories are our species' true superpower, our special talent that no other creature has quite mastered. Humans use stories to cooperate, millions of strangers working together because they believe in something imaginary like laws or money. Ants cooperate because they have to. Humans cooperate because someone told them a convincing story. Ants don't build temples or write poetry about their queen. Humans, however, write songs, stories, and even Broadway musicals about dead kings and imaginary beings. In fact, our entire modern world runs on the dreams of dead people. Countries, laws, schools, banks, none of these exist naturally. No chimpanzee ever looked at a river and thought, "That's my country," and anyone who crosses it without permission is getting a sternly worded letter. Yet humans have entire bureaucracies dedicated to exactly this sort of thing. Then there's money, the biggest and most persuasive dream of all. Humans spend entire lifetimes chasing small rectangles of paper or numbers on screens, which only have value because everybody agrees they do. Money isn't real in the same way that giraffes or bananas are real. If all humans vanished tomorrow, giraffes would still exist, but pounds and dollars would just be useless bits of paper flapping sadly in the wind. Yet we continue believing because dead people told us to. The people who invented money are long gone, yet billions of humans obediently go to work every day, earning imaginary wealth to buy real things like food and houses. If we ever collectively stopped believing, the whole system would collapse faster than a zeppelin under unexpected sky thunder. Now, this might all sound terribly pessimistic, but there's a hopeful side too. Because if all these traditions and rules are just the dreams of dead people, then we living people can change the rules whenever we want. Tradition isn't destiny, it's just very old peer pressure. Humans invented these stories, and humans can rewrite them. If someone tells you we've always done it this way, they're essentially admitting we can't think of a better reason. Ultimately, humanity's oddest feature is that we still act out the dreams of people who could never have imagined our lives today. Ancient Egyptians couldn't imagine electric toothbrushes or Netflix, yet we still live in systems they set up thousands of years ago. Maybe it's time we stopped blindly obeying the dreams of dead people and started creating better dreams of our own. After all, if humans are great at anything, it's imagining new things, even if it's just another silly habit.